So, welcome to Weekly Gita with Ashok, Vyas, and today we will have it like a presentation, and you'll see less of me and more of the words. And sometimes words are helpful in hiding, and sometimes words are helpful in coming out of the hiding. The kind of words that we want to use in the context of friendship are those words which help us in coming out of the hiding. And that is very, very important for us to participate in life and grow together. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita is actually a dialogue between two friends. And that friendship, of course, is unique and special, but all said and done, it is communication of a friend with his friend. And let's go back. When I say go back, meaning how before the scene shifts to Kurukshetra and battle is drawn, army preparation is happening, and there is a scene in Mahabharata where Arjun and Duryodhan both reach to Lord Krishna for seeking his help for their side. And as we hear, Lord Krishna is asleep, but but there's no sense of privacy of the kind that we have where you cannot enter another person's bedroom, etc. But still, friends have a way of getting all the way up to the bedroom of their friend. So here he is. Arjun arrives and sits uh, at the feet side of Lord Krishna, and Duryodhana is already sitting near his pillow towards the head side. So when he wakes up and he comes to know about the purpose of both of them being there, and then he says, "Okay, one can have my army, one can have me." So guess what? Duryodhana opts for his army, which is quite a sizable army, and the number is staggeringly high. And then Duryodhana says, "If I opt for army, then if you are going to be present in the battlefield from the side of Pandavas, then give me the promise that you won't take up arms." So now Arjun says, "Still, I want you." So basically, he opted for his friend, and he didn't calculate in terms of who will gain what, etc., in terms of the presence of arms and ammunition. So this was a selflessness on the part of who? Arjun. And that selflessness is an integral part of a good friendship. That's what we want to begin with. So you don't calculate when you have a friend. You don't see what he is gaining, what you are gaining. There is a sense of purity and less of give and take. But that itself is not enough. Let's move forward to the second important aspect that we want to share today in the context of friendship. It is you got to be open and share your inner dialogue. Many times, what we create as our experience is coming out of the kind of inner dialogues that we have. We create some tracks of conflicts. We create some imaginary space, and then that becomes like our prison wall. If there is another perspective which we can let become a part of this inner dialogue to to see it in a different light, that can only come from a true friend with whom we can share what is going on in my mind, what way I'm thinking, feeling, etc. So be in a position to share your inner dialogue with a friend, and that's what friendship is all about. But it is also about honest communication from both sides. So if there is something in response to inner dialogue which as a friend you feel for another friend, and you hesitate in telling that if I say this he may feel bad, that would take away the honest part of the communication. So being a good friend is a two-way process. which means also having the strength to say it clearly, candidly, that which would work for the benefit of the friend, not something that would temporarily be pleasing for him. And now, if you don't joke, then the juice of friendship wouldn't flow. So jokes have a part. We generally say jokes apart, but what I'm saying is jokes have a part. And in the context of Bhagavad Gita also, initially Lord Krishna makes fun of Arjun. "Oh, what are you talking about? You talk like a weakling, and where did you get this cowardice in you from?" And he's smiling, and Arjuna is full of grief. He is in his own set of confusion as to whether it will be a right thing for him to go forward and have this war unfold, or just go back up and pack up. So jokes have a part that also makes it clear that you share a sense of humor. Humor has its own strength. It also reflects a kind of trust that you have in another person's ability to take your joke in the right spirit. But at the same time, it is important that you you hit also, but you don't hurt your friend. So hit without hurting, and that's what Lord Krishna is doing. Actually, in the first few chapters, he's almost having hard hitting communication in response to the plight expressed by Arjuna in the form of his inner dialogue. So, in our case also, if we say something which may be kind of hurtful for the person, then we have to not camouflage, but have, in fact, that kind of understanding and conviction that if I say this, he will be able to grasp it in the proper perspective, and it won't hurt him. Even if it hurts, it is not the kind of hurt which would have a damaging impact. In fact, sometimes a little bit of hurt is good to become strong and do what? Face your fears. If we don't face our fears, then they kind of dangle around us as we walk and move forward, and sometimes they suddenly come in front of us, and we are grappled with a sense of anxiety. We are at a loss as to where I am, what am I doing. So if you don't face your fears squarely, and that's where friends also help you see the situation in its totality, and then determine the best role which is expected of you by facing your fears. And why a friend is taking so much trouble, trouble to convince you to do what you should be doing by facing your fears, and he's also sometimes hitting you without hurting, that is because he wants you to become a glorious performer. You are creating your own destiny through your own actions. And the kind of actions that you take, that is what is termed as your performance. If it is a battlefield, then as a warrior, the way you should perform. If it is a business setting, then as an executive or whatever role that you are supposed to play as an entrepreneur, your performance would write your glory. And you should be a glorious performer, because this glory belongs to you, and being alive is also giving us this opportunity of expressing our greatness. So, to sum it up, the best part of having good friends is they help us in manifesting our greatness. Friendship is important, and having selflessness in friendship is important. Sharing our inner dialogue with a friend helps in having honest communication. Jokes do play a part. They have their own important role for the healthy communication, and you should be able to hit a friend without hurting so that he can face his her fears and become a glorious performer. So, on that note of invoking eternal friend, um, thank you for joining. Take care. See you next week. Bye bye.